What is cracking, Pokemosh Pit? This is Archizzle9, and you may have seen me from battles I posted on this channel previously, which was quite a long time ago. Shout out to Xenon for reviving this, but if you haven't, then hi, what's up? I'm an Asian dude that uploads Pokemon Wi-Fi battles on my channel, and I also do Let's Plays, you know, just your typical PokeTuber, and for my battles, I usually prefer to play lower tiers, so, you know, hence this NU match that I have right here. But anyways, enough about me. You guys can feel free to check me out if you want after this video. But anyways, today I have an NU battle against someone who challenged me on Skype, who goes by the name of Mysterious Zero, and we were both using test teams, and it actually turned out really close. So without further ado, let's get it in. So I know this is a showdown battle rather than Wi-Fi, but sometimes I find better battles on showdown, and this was one of them. So I'm going to lead off with my Zebstrika as my opponent leads off with Armaldo, and I'm just going to go for Volt Switch. I didn't expect him to lead off with Armaldo, but then again, that was his priority, which was to get up Stealth Rocks, and I should have known that and tried to prevent it. But if you look at my team, there's really nothing I can do about it. So anyways, I go for the Toxic here as he goes for his own Toxic. I don't see Toxic on Armaldo very often, so that kind of threw me off there. And I go for another Toxic here. That might look really stupid to some of you, but some of you will know why I did that. It's pretty obvious that Armaldo can't really do anything to Alomomola, and I thought if his primary switch should be Executor, so I thought I could Toxic that. But unfortunately for me, that doesn't work out. Now, I know he's just trying to sack this because there's no reason why he would stay in like this, so I just go for a Waterfall, get off a good chunk. He doesn't die yet, so I'm thinking I have to switch out because I definitely need this thing at high health, and I have the Regenerator ability, so I'm going to switch out and go into my next best thing to take a hit from this. Now, I really wanted to go to Haunter, but it's not worth just in case he goes for Stone Edge, predicting that, I cannot let him do that. So now he brings in the Braviary as his Armaldo goes down, and I thought the way he brought it in seemed like kind of like a Choice Banded superpower coming, so I just went in my Haunter. But he does make the better play, gets momentum, goes for the U-turn, and goes into his Gardevoir. Now the way he brought this in, I thought it was Scarf, because who really brings that into a Haunter? So I go into my Miltank. Poor play on my part, really poor play. He does show me that he's Life Orb, but I really regret doing that because Executor was definitely more expendable. As you can see, he has both Articuno and Braviary, and Miltank was definitely more important as I could have set up Stealth Rocks for those. But anyways, I U-turn out on the Gardevoir as he switches in Wailord, and then I go into my Zebstrika, just getting some nice Volt turn momentum. And I'm going to be able to take out the Wailord. That thing didn't do anything, but he told me after the game that was Choice Banded, which is really interesting. But anyways, now he goes into Braviary, and he makes kind of a pointless double here. I don't know why. I am Scarf, so I knew I would outspeed the Braviary no matter what. So I went for the U-turn as he went to his Executor, and he actually takes big damage from that because it is 4 times super effective. So now I go into my Haunter, again, just getting some nice momentum here, and I'm just going to go for a Sludge Bomb because it hits everything on his team. And he brings in the Articuno. I actually get the Poison, which is fantastic. It is a 30% chance, so it's like a Scald Burn. And it really worked out for me because right here, I go for the Substitute, and he Heal Bells, I believe. So I know I'm behind a sub. I might as well just go for another Sludge Bomb, try to get a Poison or something. Just make him go for a non-attacking move, and so I can get a free switch into my Zebstrika. That was my whole game plan right here. As he does go for the Ice Beam, he is definitely more specially defensive. As you can see, the Sludge Bombs are really doing nothing, but I do get another Poison, which kind of will play a role later. You guys will see, but right here, I know he has to Roost, essentially, so I'm going to bring in my Zebstrika. This is the time, so I'm just going to go right for the T-Bolt, I believe, as he switches out and goes into his Executor. And that's not going to be able to take a T-Bolt plus Overheat, and I know this. He does get the Parahacks. I mean, it doesn't matter at all because I do outspeed anyways, and I hit him up with an Overheat, get a useless crit, and take out the Executor. So it's my game right now, 5-3. I'm up, but he still has a lot of threats, and I don't have any Stealth Rocks up, so it's still a really close match. Now, I go into Executor this time, which I should have done the first place. I would have still had my Miltank. But as you can see, he's just going to go for a Psychic and follow it up with a Signal Beam and easily take me out. I was just using Executor as Death Fodder. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back into my Primeape and just go for the U-turn. I consider going for Stone Edge, but if he stayed in, that would have been terrible. So I do want to get the momentum instead. And now that I get a free switch, I go into my Zebstrika thinking, hey, T-Bolt, super effective. Let's go. Let's do this, man. I go for the T-Bolt, and it does a very poor, underwhelming amount. As you can see, he lives that quite nicely and goes for a Roost, so he can kind of Life Orb stall me now, but he is poisoned, so it's overall doing a lot of damage, and as you can see, he knows there's no point anymore. He could try to Roost up all the way, but instead he's just going to finish me off with an Ice Beam here, and Now I really had to think about this for a while. It's 3-3 now. It's a really close game. And right here, I'm just going to go to my Haunter because I know I outspeed the Articuno. Can just take it out with a Sludge Bomb. And right here, I basically know that my win condition is to keep this Haunter against the Gardevoir, because I know I can take it out with Shadow Ball at this point. So instead, what I'm going to do is I'm not going to sack it yet. I'm going to go into my Alomomola just to sack it to this Brave Bird and get as much HP recoil as possible in the Braviary, since I obviously have a huge HP stat. And he is going to take me out with 2 Brave Birds, and I knew from the damage that he was Choice Scarf. Now I go into my Primeape, and I could have gone for either Ice Punch or Stone Edge. I thought about it, and I was like, Stone Edge, I have to go for Stone Edge, because if Ice Punch doesn't do as much as I want, and he lives the Brave Bird recoil, then he will outspeed my Haunter and take me out. So what I do is I do manage to hit the Stone Edge, get him to about 3%, and he's going to die to recoil, which means that it's going to be my game, because I know I outspeed this Gardevoir, and I can take it out with a Shadow Ball. So that was a really, really close 1-0 victory for me. Great game to my opponent, Mysterious Zero. He does have a channel. It will be in the link, so make sure to go check him out. And make sure to check me out if you want to. And hope you guys have a great day. Leave a like if you enjoyed, and I will see you guys later. Deuces.